So hey y'all, hey, and welcome to another session of Meditations with Marigny. So you guys know we've been talking about trees for the past couple of days, and I just wanted to share with you all what I just did to my front. And I'm sharing that because I'm pretty proud of the work that I've done. I'm really proud of the way that my flowers are coming out. I'm gonna have to prune those because they're gonna overgrow. This area right here, I had made a video, but it had music in it, and I felt like YouTube was gonna ding me for it. So I decided to come back and do it over again and do it this time without the music. But this is one of my favorite spots to see when I come in. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera around. And I just wanted to share that component with you guys right quick. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about, you guys know that sorry, I'm kind of sweaty. I told you guys that we've been talking about the tree, pruning of the tree. And it's interesting because in my previous video, if you look at it, I talked about the fact that sometimes a tree get hit by lightning. And my neighbor and I, there's a tree that sits like right on our property line. And we are talking about having it cut down because it's a dead tree. And the tree, it still has some small blooms on it, but the tree is dead. Evidently lightning hit it and it's not producing, and it's doing like I talked about in my previous video. You know, you got to know what the root structure looks like. And I wanted to share with you guys about my garden area, my flower area. And I had a lot of weeds and things that I had pulled out, and I was thinking about us as a group and my channel as far as relationships. Like, nobody wants to get out and do the work that goes along with this. I had to pull the weeds, and I probably been out here maybe about 3 hours total now that I'm finished. And I pulled all the weeds out, and I pulled the grass that was growing inside of there before I put the mulch down. Now I could have just put the mulch on top of what was already there, but a result of what it would have done is the weeds, they would have continued to grow through. And I'm still going to get some, but I'm going to treat so that I don't get as many. But in our relationships, how many of us are willing to prune? How many of us are willing to cut back? How many of us are willing to pull the weeds out of our relationships? And just like gardens, just like the maintenance on our cars, we have to make sure that we put in the maintenance and that we pull the weeds and that we change the oil on our relationships. If we don't, not just husband-wife relationships, but general relationships. I do the same thing with my sons. You know, I like to go in and chat with them and find out, what is it that you guys are needing from me as a mother? How do you think that I can improve as a mom? What can I do to be a better auntie? I want to make sure that I'm capitalizing on every relationship that I have. My girlfriends, I ask them, you know, hey, what is it that I can do to be a better friend? Can I be there for you a little bit more? Sometimes we don't always have the capacity to do more financially, maybe, but sometimes if it's somebody that has a small child, just maybe giving them a couple of hours so they can get some rest, or a minute where they can breathe, let them go out and get something to eat without the child, or something of that sort. Sometimes with young mothers, I go to their homes and I just sit with the baby while they take a moment and go out. And I'm saying that because I want you guys to think about the video that I did about the low-hanging fruit. And when it comes to the low-hanging fruit, you still have to put in the time to cultivate the ground that item is growing in. I think in the previous video, one of the things I talked about is overcoming your fears. Like, I do not like the bugs. I don't like the lizards. I don't like the frogs. I don't like the snakes. And I have plenty of them that find their way into my flower beds, and they do that because the ground is really fertile. You know, I have really fertilized the ground. I have treated it. I have made sure that it's cultivated. Every year I turn it over, and people don't understand that. Like, if you just keep piling something on top of something that's already there, it is not going to produce from underneath. So you'll see the production on top. It'll look good on top, but it won't have production going on up under there. So before I put down the new mulch, I turn that old mulch over. I make sure that the ground is fertilized, and maybe every 2 to 3 years I put down a new liner. I didn't put down a new liner this year because I put down liner last year. And so the liner helps to keep the weeds from coming up. Well, same way we have to do with our relationships. We have to put down a liner. What is the liner that you use? The Word of God. We have to constantly go back to the Word and make sure that we are adding the Word to our relationships so that we have the capacity to be able to carry what God has given us. And so, and going back to my thought about the frogs and the snakes, I have to overcome my fear. And we have to stop being fearful in relationships. Stop being fearful of being vulnerable. So what if you get hurt again? So what? Just try it again. You try and you try again. You can never have a solid relationship if you're not willing to open yourself up to the person. And until you find the person that you're willing to open up to, then you haven't found your person. When you find the person that you say, I feel most comfortable with this person, with allowing them to know even my not so pretty parts, even the things that are not so nice about me, even the things that people have told me get on their nerves, you have to let them into that area of your life in order for you to have a full and successful relationship. Now, does that work for everybody in every relationship? No, we're talking about the average. So there are some people who just not gonna open up. I don't care who you are. And I have some people, family, friends, that they don't open up to other people. And I can tell you that I am one of those people that people tend to open up to me, because they don't feel that there's going to be a judgment. They don't feel that there's going to be, and there may be a spirit of correction, because we all have to have that. But we all got mistakes. Like, I done did some stuff that I just want to take it to my grave if I could. Nobody else to ever know about it. But there are some things in life that we have as a growing opportunity, and I just use those opportunities to help me. So, my channel is about building people up. It's not about tearing you down. So it's my hope that, sorry guys, I got something biting me. But it's my hope that the information that I share with you on my channel helps you to be better. It helps you to grow. It helps you to develop. It helps you to do a self-evaluation, that you look at yourself and say, hey, I can improve in this area, or I can grow a little bit more here. And, even not just with you guys, as I'm saying this to you, it is reinforcing it in my own life. It is causing me to even sharpen my tool of things that I want to do to be closer to what God has created for me to be and to do on this earth. And so, with that being said, y'all, a sister is tired. And I just wanted to share with you that if you put in the work, this is me putting in the work now, because I want to sit out here and I want to enjoy this. I like to sit on the porch and just chill. Like, my neighborhood is pretty quiet, and you don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of traffic and things like that. There's a couple of main streets behind me that sometimes people can hear, but for the most part, I'm just enjoying the fruit of my labor. And so coming out here and having the opportunity to sit outside with my yard, it's fulfilling to me. I don't have to go somewhere else to do that. I can enjoy the fruit of my labor right here at my own home. So this is a tree that is producing fruit. This is a good tree. There's a tree that's over there that's not. Y'all see that tree right there? It is not producing because something hit it. I believe it was lightning. But it's not normal for a tree not to have greenery on it. Same way with our relationships. When we pick and choose somebody, what kind of tree did they come from? Are they from a tree? Because if you get close up on it, it has some greenery on it. But you got to get really close to see it, which means that you have to be right up on it. You're going to get just a little bit. And that's the way it is with some relationships. People will give you just enough to keep you attached. They'll give you just enough to keep you interested. They'll give you just enough to make sure that you maintain some level of connection with them. But they won't give you what you need in order to be connected completely. And that's because typically, metaphorically speaking, they've been struck by lightning. and they don't have the ability to produce and give to you what you are going to need in that relationship. So just keep that in mind. And then you got other people's that's not people's, it's people. You got other people that flourish just like that tree we were just standing up under, and just like those flowers that are behind me. So you guys, I want y'all to have a wonderful day. Go enjoy your family. Hug your loved one. Tell somebody that you love them in your home. Make sure that tonight when you go to bed that your heart and your mind is clear, and that everybody is in a peaceful place. All right, y'all have a good one. I'm gonna put that song in here because I really like the song. It was playing in the other video, and I said I think YouTube is gonna ting me on that one. So but the song is called "You Were Made for Me," and I think the guy, I can't think of his name, but it's kind of like a country jazzy type song, one of them old school with the funny beat. But I'm gonna drop it in the comments so you guys can listen to it, and at least y'all know what I was listening to while I was working in the yard. All right, have a good night. Bye.